Hey guys, welcome back to the Ottoman Piracy Challenge. This is part 14. On the previous episode, we were able to take out Greece, their capital, and Corinth. We're of course burning Corinth to the ground right as we speak. Athens in a very dire position, as it seems like without our assistance, Athens will fall next turn. We're going to try to bombard them. But besides that, not much has changed. We of course have control of 2 original capitals that are not our own, so 3 in total. We're doing very well, actually. There is a Greek city, or a Greek ship outside of Ankara, but that's totally fine. They've taken out one of our fishing boats, also totally fine. We are, of course, getting more and more melee units, more naval units, I should say, with each and every turn that passes, so that's great. We're just wreaking havoc to Greece itself. Of course, Greece is now going to call in more of its naval units, which are halfway across the map fighting Samoa, or not Samoa, sorry, Polynesia. We're going to go ahead and set immediately upon issuing our units some orders here. Oh, also, by the way, we have some defendable melee units that are coming in to defend Athens. Of course, we're putting Corinth to the torch. We don't really care too much about Corinth. We also have these workers that we don't really want. I think we can get rid of them for money. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, these guys we can scout around. That's cool. Right, so Athens is almost fallen, which means that we need to get our rear into gear and attack some of these units, especially the melee units, like this Greek Lancer over here. He will be #1 on priority for us to eliminate, as he will be the only unit seen here that will be able to take out the city of Athens. So time to bombard him into the ground, which actually was a lot easier than it might have appeared. We will now send our effort into destroying this Greek crossbowman, which was also dispatched with haste very, very easily. As Corinth is burning down, we no longer have any need of defending it, so we're taking out our units. In this episode, there's going to be quite a bit that happens. Hopefully, we're going to be able to hold Athens, throw back Greece, perhaps even burn down all of these Greek cities. It's a bit evil, but, you know, we're the Ottomans. We don't really care. In fact, in preparation for this particular period, we're going to be making a settler that we will send to found a city over here, in case if we ever need one. Of course, all these other enemy cities are being puppeted, so we can't control their unit production, which may or may not be a bad thing, or a good thing, I should say, in the future. We have a lot of naval units, which we will be keeping an eye on their naval units on, so all these units will be sending over to Istanbul in preparation for the Greek fleet that will be arriving from the east. Right, so with that being said, I think we can end our turn relatively safely now. Of course, half of the world is at war with us, all these city-states. We are allied with 3, so that's nice, including Buenos Aires, which is in a very strategic location for us. We ended our turn. Let's see, bombarded by an enemy cannon, that's fine. So it basically seems like they're just attacking our city. Of course, Greece very stupidly sent out one of its lancers into the water, which we have promptly dispatched. Privateers are quite a bit weaker than ironclads. Good to know. But we do have access to them, so that's nice. And now we will be sending our settler across the ocean to the west. Of course, now keeping an eye on Greek infantry units over here. So now I believe we'll be able to get rid of the last Greek defending units. Of course, the defending units are these lancers that we see over here. Give me one moment as I actually time this particular challenge, as I have once again failed to do so. Let's see. This should just about work. Sorry about that. We are back in business now. Getting rid of all these melee units that have any chance of taking my cities. Of course, this also has the added side effect of boosting the promotions of every single one of my frigates, which is fantastic news. We will, of course, also be destroying any units that seek to take out the city of Athens, which is firmly in my control. Now we actually have a Gatling gun there to defend it, so that's nice. Of course, remember, in this challenge, I cannot attack cities with melee units, with military land units, but I can instead defend cities. That is part of the stipulations of the challenge. I will send back, I believe, this rifleman to Addis Ababa, as we need at least one defender on that island. So that's fine. This crossbowman probably needs to just go back to Ankara, that's fine. Excuse me. This frigate will bombard this worker, as will this unit, as he has nothing else to bombard. We're working our way now to the east towards Sparta, burning down, of course, every city that we come across. I know that's a bit barbaric, but what do we care? In fact, why don't we just work on Libella first? That's another city that we can just burn to the ground. We'll work on that later. We'll get rid of the stronghold of Greece first. The areas in which it's the most powerful, of course, is what I meant to say. Did Greece manage to take Samoa? They were not able to. They're in a very bad situation right now, Greece. And this is a great episode for you guys today, because I believe I will be able to wipe Greece off of the face of the map. And then we can focus on Indonesia. So we're going to create an Ottoman artifact, as we normally would. 2 turns away from a hydro plant in our capital, which is really, really good. It's going to give us a lot of production. Of course, we got a factory over here in Bursa as well, which is good news. Let's go ahead now and end our turn. Sparta will be, of course, our next target. A trade route was plundered, but we really don't even care. It's an acceptable loss. Choosing now our production over here in Bursa, we will choose excuse me, a stock exchange. And over here in Samson, we will choose a workshop, or a watermill would be a better choice. Right, so we're going to make this ironclad specialize in taking out cities, which will probably be the most useful, while we send this rifleman back into our territory. We can go with range, which is always what we're going to take. Range is a very, very useful thing to have here. Corinth is already captured, so once again we're sending all of our units east to Sparta. And I'm actually going to keep an eye out in Libella, see if any other developments occur, while sending all these frigates to the east. Really, Greece is in a very bad situation. A very, very, very bad situation. We have destroyed basically everything that is Greek on this island, with the exception of their workers and a great general that actually spawned because they were doing so poorly. Great generals, for those of you who are not aware, spawn when you either do really well or do really terribly in melee. And of course we can't attack with melee units, I do reiterate. We can only attack with the naval units that we've captured in piracy. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this Gatling gun outside of Sparta. Well, of course this would be a stupid location. We're going to set it up over here. Corinth is still burning to the ground, so that's very, very good news. These units over here are almost fully healed, which is good. We can finally perhaps take some frigates for our cause, as that place is still undefended. You know what, why don't we just, no, I was going to say we can send more ironclads over there to defend, but we don't really need to. Right, so this cannon we will send over to, well, we can't really send it anywhere, so we will keep it in Samson. As I said, we can't sit anywhere because Greece is allied to the entire world. We're not going to bother, really, with dealing with that hassle. So, that being said, let's go ahead and end our turn once again. And Greece is just a shadow of what it once was. Of course, we now have some oil available in Corinth. Of course, if hindsight was 2020, we wouldn't burn down the city, but too late. We are already doing so. We're going to work on a stock exchange next, and we're also going to send our settler west to modern-day Sparta, where we will make a city. Now that that's taken care of, we are going to send our naval units to the east to intercept this Greek frigate. And now that the Greek frigate is running away, we can go ahead and purchase a workboat to renew this spot over here. And of course, you might be asking me, well, you are buying a workboat, and you'd absolutely be correct. I am buying workboats, but you can't buy or produce military naval units in this challenge. So all of the naval units that you see are actually products of me stealing ships with the prize ship promotion, for those of you who are new to this particular challenge. It was very challenging in the first half of this series, but now it's getting to be incredibly easy. I mean, I'm just absolutely dominating now. Really nobody can stop me at this point, which is good. These frigates we will send in first, over here outside of Sparta. And the ranged units, of course, we will keep out of range of the cities, so that the lesser experienced units can take up more experience by taking damage, as naval units also rank up by taking damage as well as dealing out damage. So we are attacking Sparta. Everything is going to plan. So far, so good. Sending out more of my naval units now. Oops, I definitely did not mean to do that. That was a bit stupid. I could probably attack Sparta pretty safely. Let's go ahead and go for that. That's a good idea. And this unit will go back to Addis Ababa, where he will defend. Of course, I'm keeping an eye out on Labella, just to make sure that everything is going to plan. A peace treaty with Denmark has faded. We got an actual barbarian privateer out here. Never even seen those before, so it's a pretty interesting development. Perhaps there is a barbarian encampment nearby. I really have no idea. Let's go ahead and end our turn. We'll see if we lose any units. We didn't, so that's good. Now we have yet another trade route that was plundered. That's fine. We can afford to take the damage. Now we can send out more of our great admirals, which will be important in the coming days. Also, Sparta will probably fall this turn, as we have a renewed effort on the part of our frigates in order to take the city for ourselves. Of course, our damaged units will be sent back to heal, as is the Ottoman doctrine. But I mean, we're absolutely wrecking shop here. I think I'm not going to send any melee units in this turn, but next turn we will. No problem there. We got another cannon up here in Konya. So now we're going to focus on more development. Perhaps on a zoo, we need happiness. These units I'm going to be keeping over here. We already have too many melee units. Melee naval units, I should say. There is a barbarian privateer outside the coast of Pagoda. I could take it, but I'm more concerned with taking Greek units. Well, you know what? I really don't like privateers, so we're going to take privateers. That's fine. And we're also going to be buying more cargo ships, since we've lost quite a few. Okay, cool. We can buy multiple ones. That's good. We're going to end our turn now, after we send the settler over here to the west. And next turn, we should capture Sparta for ourselves, which would be really, really nice. course, Corinth will be burnt down next turn, which is very, very good. Another friendly trade route has been plundered, unfortunately, and we are able to steal technology. We'll take fertilizer and work on, let's see, flight would be good. They recommend it. But I'm more concerned with going the battleship route to end this game even faster than it already will end. Of course, to take battleships, we need electronics. So we're going to go over there, promoting a unit into, can we get range? We can. Pretty much all of my frigates have range now, which is super, super good. We're just going to shell Sparta until we can send in a unit, which will finish it off. And crushing blow. We're going to raise the city, of course, as we normally do. We're doing so well now at this point. We could probably even just attack Argos with our ironclads at this point. So I'm just going to do that. I mean, it's kind of a joke that I'm even considering doing this, but I mean, take a look. I mean, this is really quite simple. Gonna raise that city as well. Raising all sorts of cities here. I can even do that to Libella too. So, I need another ironclad, which we will send from over there. It's on its way. I think Greece will probably opt to go to peace with us rather than being wiped off the face of the earth. But I was actually wrong. They seem to hate the Ottoman Empire so much that they would rather be wiped off the earth, so we're going to make it easy for them. And wipe them off the face of the earth. With pleasure. I mean, that's what we do. We're Ottomans. We could give less of a rat's ass for Greek ships. Greek lives, I should say. We have taken yet another ship captive, and this is a fantastic episode. We are taking control of all of Greece. We're taking control of all of these Greek units. Really, we've lucked out in so many different ways. Really lucked out here. So, let's go ahead and end our turn. We have neutralized the Greek threat here, and now we can finally get rid of this Greek worker. The only Greek city we have left, of course, is Libella. So we're going to go ahead and start sending forces over that way. Right, so let's go ahead and end the turn. My agents go where they please. Fuck you very much. We're going to be going after Indonesia next, of course. So, great person born over here. Let's make a factory. I'll go ahead and do that. Where, you might ask? Well, let's do it on top of a silver mine. Might as well. So, we're probably going to take yet another Greek frigate. It's my guess that we are. Let's go ahead and see if my guess is correct. We did. We've so far, I think, taken 3 or 4 ships this episode. So far, it's a very, very good episode. Let's go ahead and work on a... what would be a good choice? Let's go with a zoo. We need as much happiness as we can get. And we will give you Coastal Raider and heal all of these units to full health. This settler, of course, will be going to Sparta. We're going to heal up these units over here as well. Next turn, I will see if Greece has any more units outside of Polynesia. Of course, Polynesia could probably thank us a little bit better for all of the cleaning, spring cleaning that we're doing for them, if you want to consider it that. And Greece still has the city of Libella. We're going to go ahead and help them out and help them remove it. This ironclad will get Coastal Raider 2, which is super useful. And the frigates are going to go ahead and start moving north to Jakarta in anticipation of the conflicts that are there. All of them. Ooh, take a look at this. We can get targeting 3 or bombardment, or let's go with bombardment 2. It's fine. equally good, in fact, whilst healing up, like I said, all of our wounded naval units. And let's go ahead and send this privateer to the north, where we'll see if there's any more Greek ships floating about. But I think it's safe now for us to be sending out our cargo ships. Of course, all of them will be going to Carthage. And by all of them, I do mean all of them. This is absolutely crazy how much we're sending out. Right, so we're making 369 a turn. Pretty modest amount of money. And let's go and end our turn. So, look at this. Greece wants to make peace with us. How cute. Of course, we're not going to accept peace. That would be a coward's way out. Instead, we will do our best to take out all Greek cities as best we can. Of course, sending our fleet to the north now to take out Indonesia. All of them heading that way, with the exception of our settler. This guy over here is going to construct a manufactory, which I believe still gives us silver. Does it? Do we still have access to silver? We don't. I just made a stupid mistake. I know that strategic resources are actually accounted for if you make a manufacturer on top of them, but luxury resources, turns out they don't. Well, I made one silly mistake. That's fine. Not the end of the world. So sending our troops north to Jakarta. And our working boat over here to repair the damage that was done. Outside Labella, we can heal instantly, which is what I'm going to be doing, and further attacking Labella for the potential of taking out the city next turn. Let's see if we can't find any more Greek ships. I don't see any more, so we're going to heal up the ships that we've stolen. And that's about it, all that we can do this turn. So let's go and end the turn. Of course, next turn Argos is going to be burnt to the ground, which is fantastic. I'm just canvassing now for potentially any Greek units that made their way up here that we've missed. And so far we've done so well. I mean, I haven't used any melee units to take any cities. I haven't used any army units, land military units to take any cities. I haven't used any planes to bombard any cities or nuclear missiles. This is as real as you can get it in terms of civilization challenges. This is a very difficult challenge, but it wasn't too hard. We were able to do it slowly but surely, and that is all that matters. So, Labella is ours. We will... we could liberate it, but that's not our MO. We're going to raise it to 3 rounds, as we usually do with all cities. Ottomans are strong. And we're going to take this back to our base to heal it up. Of course, Indonesia will be a bit of a harder cookie to crack. They have quite a bit of hills guarding their city of Jakarta. And we can't place any units over here because they'd be attacked by Median. So we need to move all of our units over here, ready to strike, perhaps as soon as Greece is wiped off the map. So very shortly, in other words. In fact, we might not even make it to battleships before I win this challenge. I'm starting to really snowball here in power, meaning that I'm getting more and more powerful every single turn. Of course, Sparta needs to burn down for me to found a city there, so we're going to wait there. And let's go ahead and end our turn. Of course, we also have this privateer that we could use in taking out some of these Indonesian ships. All of these units you see over here are going to heal up and work on taking out some Indonesian ships as well. I completely forgot about Poland, in fact, as well. Malacca. We'll probably go ahead and start working on them. Hanoi is still our ally, but we lost some influence. We'll buy back some back. And let's go ahead and work on getting them as a friend. We're friends with Malacca. We need 50 more influence. Sweet. Oops. I just dropped my keyboard for the second time. Sorry about that. My keyboard was dropped for the second time. I apologize. Made a lot of noise. Hope I didn't wake up anybody in this house. I'm going to talk a little bit quieter now while I heal these units here. Right, so the city of Libella has almost fallen. They'll fall next turn. And city of Adern, we will focus on making food. And that's about it. Sparta will fall in 2 turns, which is really good. Excuse me. So we are about ready to declare war on Indonesia. About as ready as we will be. First, of course, we will prepare by ensuring that we can pillage all of their ships when the time comes. To this end, we will be sending all of our melee units around Indonesian territory to attack them when the time comes. Excuse me. So far, so good. We've taken out Greece effectively from the game. I don't think that Greece is in this game anymore. They are? Well, that's totally surprising. I don't see where they could be if they are indeed actually in this game. And we can't steal any more technologies from them, so we're going to move our spy to Polynesia, where we will have better luck, of course. And we're going to enter a turn again. This settler will stay here outside of Sparta, just like what was planned. And of course, Greece has been effectively wiped out. We need to go and see if we can get these agreements with Carthage once again. Open borders, of course, being very beneficial. We'll give you open borders for... Okay, they don't want to be friends. They perhaps realize that we are a warmongering menace to the world, which is a rather fair assessment for them. Working on a hospital in every single city here. And really preparing for the eventuality of being at war with Indonesia. We've got quite a bit of units outside of my city of Ankara, but we will be prepared for this. In fact, I was going to send these ironclads that way, but right now we could probably send them up to Indonesia proper, where they will heal up. Send you back to Carthage. We're going to keep you over there. Send you back up here. And really, we have our entire attack force outside of Jakarta, ready to strike when I give the word. But I will not give the word until next turn. So guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do a quick overview of the demographics screen, as I normally do. In addition to everything else, let's take a look at what we can do for order over here. We could probably get more happiness, which would be nice. Or party leadership is also really good. I actually like the production the most with the 5-year plan. It's really, really good. And the city of Sparta has been burned to the ground. So we form our city of Gaziantep in its place, where we will immediately build, you know, the most basic things like an aqueduct, while simultaneously becoming allies with Malacca. What did I just send? I just sent a unit somewhere, and I don't realize which unit that I sent. Perhaps I could look around. It was this guy over here. Cancel your last mission. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode we will go to war with Indonesia, now that we have effectively wiped out Denmark, Ethiopia, and Greece. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.